Hi everyone, it's Reverend Deanna Cox here from DKR United. I'm here live with a midweek reflection. Sorry I missed last week if you were looking for it. I was away on holidays and I'm still away. I have a study leave this time, but there was something on my heart that I just wanted to share, so I thought, why not do a midweek reflection this week? So, one of the things, I don't know if you've noticed, but as this pandemic is continuing on, I've really felt like a lot of our social media sharing and commentary is getting quite negative and actually downright nasty sometimes. And last week, as being on holidays, I had more time to scroll through Facebook, and we were doing a lot of traveling, so that was kind of about all I had energy for anyways. And I was noticing that I was really noticing this negativity and nastiness on social media, and it was breaking my heart, actually. And I am a fixer personality, so it's my tendency to want to get in there. I'm also very, very relational, and so I want to make sure that people get along, and so it's my tendency to want to get in there and make it better if I can. I realized throughout my life that doesn't always work, that quite often that meddling makes it worse. And so, but I was trying to think of how I can speak to the brokenness that it makes in my heart. And so I've just been pleading in every way I can for people to be nice. You may have noticed it in our sermons, in our Sunday reflections, in my midweek, and most recently, it was kind of the topic of my column in my submission to the faith column in our local paper, the Community Press. April was my month to write the articles for it, and so I just wanted, like many of us have talked about what we have learned throughout this pandemic, and that I know that for me, my faith has been a big comfort and also a challenge throughout this whole time, because it reminds me about love my neighbor as myself. And we've talked about this before. That's fine and dandy when we all agree, when we are aligned, at least similarly, ideologically, theologically, whatever. It gets more challenging when there's differences of opinion, as there is throughout the pandemic. Mask wearing. Some people feel that is a deep infringement of their personal rights, and some people feel very strongly that this is what we need to do to care for each other. That's okay. But we don't need to swear at each other, to yell at each other, to dredge up personal arguments and family trauma and throw them in each other's faces. We don't need to say statements or share articles that are hurtful, that leave no room for discussion because they're so polarized. We need to be able to empathize with each other, to be able to sit down and say, why is it that you feel that way? Help me understand the perspective that you're coming from. And then once we've got that, to just sit with it, to not constantly rebuttal. And I tell you folks, that's a hard one for me. And and not to always counter it with our own personal experience. It is hard, but if we can just sit with that other person's perspective, even in silence, and then maybe ask permission if we can share our perspective. And hopefully that they too will sit in a moment of silence, or just to sit with your perspective and not retaliate and not counter it. Maybe then, after we've both allowed ourselves the space to see something from their perspective, maybe then we can discuss it with kindness, with dignity, with respect. I'm not saying we have to do a 360 and agree with them. No, we may not change each other's minds at all. But at least we will have listened to each other. At least we will have not called each other names. At least we will have respected each other and responded with kindness and compassion and love. And the other thing that I talk about in my article in the faith column this week in the Community Press is a quote that a good friend of mine shared with me when our eldest was born. She had just come to visit us, and she told me, as any first-time parent, things don't always go the way you expect it to go. The way the books, the movies, the stories your parents tell us, it's not always like that. And so my friend had shared with me this piece of wisdom saying, "This too shall pass." And I just invite us that when this pandemic, there is so much. There's grief, there's trauma, there's some joy, there's a lot in there. And just remember, when you are at your lowest, or maybe your highest, this too shall pass. And may it remind you to cherish the amazing, spectacular moments of rest and joy that we experience here. When I am able to get a hug, I cherish those because I now know what it is like to go without them. So cherish those because they will pass. But also, when I'm in that place where I am so longing for this to all be over, it's a reminder to take a deep breath and remember that it shall pass. It might take longer than we hope or expect, but it will pass, friends. And may we, when we encounter somebody who is angry or frustrated or sad or lashing out in some way, may we just take a breath and know that maybe for them, maybe they're in one of those hard spots, and that we could maybe be some kindness or some silence that will help them get past that tough part and recognize that it will pass. So I hope that you will tune in and read my article that I submitted to the Community Press. It's in a column called Faith, often near the back of the paper. And the ministerial, the Highway 13 ministerial each takes a turn writing articles for it, and April was my month. So I hope you tune in and read them. Let me know what you think about them. Feedback is always helpful. And remember, as it says in 2 Corinthians, for this slight momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all measure. This too shall pass. So may we extend kindness and compassion and love into the world and get through this together. Thanks, friends. Take care. God bless you. And I will be back leading worship next Sunday, Mother's Day. And then from then, I will be on my sabbatical, which is a time of rest and rejuvenation for my ministry. I am super excited about it, already delving into some books. And I may not be on the midweek reflection every week while I'm in my sabbatical, but I do hope to connect with you a bit through this venue regarding the Wellness Challenge. So if you are unfamiliar with that, you can check out our, you can call our church office, or you can check out our website. I will try and put a link on that, as well as our Facebook page. You search up DKR United, and you should find all of our Facebook, website, and YouTube channel. So I encourage you to do that, DKR United. And yeah, until next week, I guess. I hope you get out and enjoy the sunshine and get some exercise as part of the Wellness Challenge. Take care, and God bless you all. Be kind. Bye.